on the details of this beautiful narrative. You know, Jephthah. Just one chapter dedicated to one man, but yet so intriguing and inspiring. So the Bible said that, in fact, I was quite stunned by the way this story was narrated. The Bible started by telling us something very beautiful about this man. He said Jephthah gave us his name, gave us his ancestry. He said this Jephthah, he gave us a little bit of a background, said he is a Gileadite. So if you had other Jephthahs staying or alive in that season, they were not talking about the Jephthah from Judah. They weren't talking about the Jephthah from Naphtali or from Zebulun. They were not talking about Jephthah from Gad. They were talking about, there's only one Jephthah. So the one we are making reference to is the one from Gilead. When people want to describe you, there are certain qualities that you possess that they are going to try to use to narrow down your definition, so that when people are trying to understand who they are talking about, maybe somebody is saying, do you know Pastor Chris? Say, which Pastor Chris? Say, that one that just started a church. That narrows it down, right? And when they say, oh, which one that started? Say, that one that used to be in, they will complete it. So they were talking about a man called Jephthah, and they gave you a little background that it is this one. He is a Gileadite. And he said, this guy is a mighty man. He's a strong guy. He's a mighty man of valor. Before you can be called a mighty man of valor, you must have done some valiant things. The man had done exploits. He's done things worthy of reckoning for to just say the least. He was a mighty man of valor. When you started reading a story that started like that, you would be expecting that they will continue to tell of maybe his military exploits, his victories, his whatever that he's done, that were the valiant things that they are referring to. But instead, the story took a turn, a twist, as you may call it. The story takes a twist and continues with a but. I'm in verse 1. You should be putting, I know you like my picture very well. Very fine young man. Well, put the scripture, it's better. He said, King James said, and he was the son of an harlot. He was the son of a prostitute. NIV said, but he was the son of a prostitute. Hold on. You are telling me that this man is a very powerful man. He's a good guy. He's a nice person. He's valiant. He's a mighty man. Why did you have to tell me that he was born by a prostitute? Did you notice that the entry of that singular information reduced the quality of what was said before? Are you guys following me? This guy is a valiant man. He's a mighty man. He's a military general. But he was born by a prostitute. And the way men look at things, the way men think, they will stop looking at how mighty he is and focus on the fact that he was born by a prostitute. I remember a story in the Bible talking about Naaman, a mighty warrior. He said this guy had conquered lands. He said, but he was a leper. So no matter how valiant this guy was, no matter how powerful he was, no matter the exploit he has done, there was a but that reduced the effectiveness of all that he has achieved. He was cracked. Have you, maybe in your house, how many of you were told to wash plates and they now brought out those breakable plates that your father uses to receive visitors? How many of you had the privilege of washing breakable plates? It's privilege, it's privilege. And then they give you the plates, and then your mother is in the kitchen cooking, and all of a sudden she hears, you know, the first thing, she won't come out, oh, she will not say, have you broken it? She will say, break it. You know? And then she says it, wastes a little time in the kitchen, and then comes out to check whether, and then God helping you broke it. You know, it's best they beat you there and then. You know that you have. But you know those beatings they reserve for later. I don't know why. But it's like I'll still do it, amen. I don't know. They will just reserve the beating. I don't know why. And then she'll just come, look at it, and laugh, and go back to the kitchen. You don't know whether you should continue the worship or stop. If you continue, it does not save you. You stop, you are in. But imagine that plate is very beautiful. Oh, there are chinas that are very amazing. And they'll be using it to serve visitors. And all of a sudden, they notice a crack. No matter how small it is. Have you dressed up for church on a Sunday morning, and then you've dressed, and for those of us that stay in houses that have this almaco, and then the almaco is in such a way that you can see yourself, you know, and you know you are, I don't know how it happens, but I know that somehow when we are passing, we are looking, you just look until you have passed. Am I the only one? Okay. I thought some people are more righteous than me. And now, when you passed, you noticed something, you came back again, and then realized that there's one spot somewhere on your white. You were like, no, it will something. My clothes will cover it. Then, as you were walking on the street, people were just looking at you. In your mind, you will say, they are looking at that spot. They didn't tell you they were looking at the spot, but you concluded that the way people are looking at me today, it is quite unusual. And in your mind, they are looking at the spot. No matter how beautiful that plate is, once it is chipped, they can decommission the plate. It won't be used again, because to the owner, if I present this plate, they may notice the crack. No matter how beautiful Jephthah was, how valiant he was in his exploits, he was born by a prostitute. So when they are sharing things in his house, they will not give him. When he complains, they will remind him. I don't know if some of you have stayed in the village a little while. Okay, I know most of you were born in the town, but if you've been in the village, you realize that those village people are very terrible. Terrible in the sense that People will come for a meeting and then they are sharing things. You know, it is in the village that you cannot dare claim seniority over someone that is older than you. No matter how rich you are, they are sharing meat. You venture and collect before the person that is older than you. They will tell you the history of your father's house. How many of you have seen? They know how to. Things you didn't know that was, they will tell you. Now, especially people who wish to do the things you are doing, when they notice that there is a little but with your life, they will concentrate on that to make a mess of everything that you have done. Am I talking to people who understand? This guy was a military general, but he was born by a harlot, and he lived with his brothers and sisters. I know from time to time they would have reminded him. So if I talk in this house, he will talk. Like, go and ask your mother if they paid her bride price. And then the person that would have come out boldly will recoil in his shell. Cracks. Men love to focus on cracks. You are good in every area, but there is one area that has a little. They will forget all the goodness and just concentrate on that crack. Oh, she's a lovely sister. She can sing very well. But she's not married. He's a lovely brother. In fact, when he sings now, the angels will come down. I said, It's not only angel coming down. Did you hear that he just impregnated again? Oh, that pastor can heal the sick, raise the dead. I said, have you told someone you were excited sharing about how good somebody is, and you expected that the person will be excited like you, and this is just like You'll be like, oh, hold on, what's that? He said, no, nothing. No. What was that? He said, well, it's not in shower, but I said they cut him for another man's house, where he did. All the good things about that man is reduced to dust because of a crack. I don't know what cracks you've been dealing with in your life. You come amongst people who are educated, and then they remind you that you flunked out of school. Cracks are things that people are so interested in talking about. That's the focus of the gossip. It is cracks that make gossip sweeter. Because nobody that gossips about a good thing. The gossips always major on those things that are cracks. Are those things that you try to hide about you. Hide. You wish that they wouldn't find out. And then now that they found out, you are so ashamed of yourself. Married but still sleeping around. Married but divorced. And then people are saying, if she was so spiritual, why did the husband leave her? It is those spiritual people that don't stay in homes. Cracks. Music director, but he's a homosexual. That voice is like a nightingale, but they realize that she has aborted many pregnancies. Cracks. She's been serving so mightily in the church, and then they say it's not about serving in church. What do you have to show for it? She doesn't have a child. When she remembers it, she wants to go back into her shell. There are things about some of us, I make bold to say about all of us, that you will remember and you try to. You are not coming out because you know that the more you come out, the likelihood that they may discover the cracks in your life. So you shy away. All the people that say, I don't like leadership, I like from the back. Most of them, it's not like they don't like the spotlight, but they know if they show up, they may discover the cracks in their lives. Cracks. Jephthah had a crack in his life. And the Bible said that his brothers came together. Immediately the father died, the brothers came together and said, you will not inherit our father's belonging with us. And they chased him out. What could have been so powerful enough that this valiant man did not fight back? He rather walked away. Did you understand what I just said? He was a strong man. At least he could have engaged his brothers in a fight. This is my father's house. This is your father's house. You have no right to chase me out of my father's house. But because of the crack, he had to walk away. They ganged up and chased him away because to them, he had a crack. And he himself looked at the crack in his life and said, well, it's not even worth fighting for because my mother is a prostitute. But did you realize that the fact that he had a crack did not also change the fact that he was a mighty man?
Yes, sir.
The fact that there was a crack in his life didn't change the fact that he was a mighty man. Because if you had engaged him in a battle and he decides to fight you, that day you will realize that crack or no crack, he still had it. Are you getting what I'm saying? His crack did not disqualify him from being a mighty man. His crack did not make him useless. Because later in the scripture you saw that they were in trouble. They still went to go and look for the one that had a crack. Are you understanding me? He was a valiant man. And the people pretended that he wasn't useful to them because of the crack in his life. But when they had trouble, how is it that you don't like me, but you like my money? You don't like to give me time to come and sing, but when they're contributing things in the choir, you remember that I'm a member of the choir when it comes to money. That he had a crack in his life did not change the fact that he was a valiant man. That he had a crack in his life did not change the fact that he was useful. He was useful. Listen, whatever cracks you are dealing with in your life, no matter how cracked you are still useful. You are still useful. You are still useful. That you are divorced does not disqualify you from being a gifted person. That you're not married yet doesn't reduce your anointing. Marriage is not the determinant of how anointed you will be. Child or no child does not equate to how powerful God will place his hand on you, no matter who you are. Even if you used to be a prostitute, it does not change the fact that there is something in you that is needed. So because of your cracks that you are ashamed of, you have reduced your shining. You have hidden your gift. You no longer come to the choir because of the crack in your life. They suspended you from the choir because you had a baby out of wedlock. And after you've served the suspension, you can't come back to the choir because to you, when I stand in front of the people, will they receive my gift? Won't they be looking at me as, so is this one that wants to come and sing for us? But God said I should tell you that you are cracked, doesn't reduce your gift. It doesn't disqualify you from participating in what God has for you. It doesn't disqualify you from participating in destiny. It doesn't. Sir, it doesn't. It doesn't. Whatever it is, I don't know. You know yourself better. You know the things that you are dealing with. You know the commands in your life. No matter what it is, it does not disqualify you. Isaiah 56 verse 3. That is one of the scriptures that God gave to us before we started the church. Isaiah 56 verse 3. Are you there? He said, no foreigner neither let the son of the stranger that had joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord had utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. Do NIV. Do all the translations you have. He said, no foreigner who has converted to the Lord should say, the Lord will exclude me from his people. And the eunuch should not say, look, I am a dried up tree. New Living Translation said, he said, let no foreigner say, the Lord will not allow me be among his people. God said to me, when you start the Tizo Nation, let the Tizo Nation be a place that nobody can say that I am not qualified to be among God's people. Because we've come from an organized religion that will always rubbish a man just because of one crack. And God says, no, that's not how it is. That's not how I operate. Your cracks don't disqualify you from me. A lot of people have had to give up on their destinies because of a crack. Because of a crack. Oh, yes, you are not yet married because they told you in your place that you are an Osu. Did you give birth to yourself? A man talks to you, you don't want to answer the guy. Because to you, what is the need? Because later now when he wants to get serious and he will discover that I'm an Osu and he will run away. You've disqualified yourself from marriage because you come from the Osu caste system. God says no matter the crack in your life, you still qualify for the good things that God can give to you. You still qualify. So because you came from an Osu system, you have forgotten that there are still men who will approach you and tell you, I don't care what you are. What I care is that God has told me that you are my wife. But what? You've disqualified yourself. Even prostitutes get married, sir. Even prostitutes get married. Don't disqualify yourself. The mandate of this church is to remind God's children that they are still needed. Your voice is still needed. Your gifting is still needed. You've lost faith in yourself and stopped being you because of the cracks in your life. Okay, sir, let's reason this out. After they have told you about the cracks in your life, what else? No, you didn't get it. So yes, you heard that I am a drug dealer. You heard. And then I'm tempted to like that thing they say you can't shame the shameless. Because you have to come to the point where you realize that God sees me. God needs me. He has not disqualified me. No man is qualified to disqualify me. Do you understand it? If one man has rejected me, the second man, there is somebody in the lineup that will accept me. I am needed. Do you get it? If they reject you on this stage, go to the next. Go to the next. So yes, they've told you the story of your life. So Have you seen someone coming to make you feel ashamed and then they left feeling ashamed of themselves? They came to tell you the story of your life. Look at you. You have mouth to talk. You that ran away from your husband's house. And you say, oh wow, I ran away. But what about you that is being beaten every day? You nearly died. I may not be preaching on raffle. That's not, but the point is, don't let any man shame you into going into hiding. How can you hide? How can you, because of a few? Wait, let me tell you. No matter what they know about you, it is localized. Do you know how many people died on this earth? 8 billion plus. And you want to die because of a few people. Because they know about the cracks in your life. Hey. They don't like you because you are vocal. There are people that like vocal women. They don't like you because your leg is like this. You don't have straight leg. You now wear skirts by you. It's not like you like the skirt, but you just wear to cover the gay leg. And then someone sees you and tells you, my dear, you're looking very sexy. Say that, please just stop whining me. It's not whining. There are people who like it. You cannot go into what you are needed. You are needed. This message is for some of us that have had to go into hiding when the world is dying for what God has put within you. Tell your neighbor you are needed. Tell the other neighbor you are needed. Did you notice that the Bible said that this guy ran away and went to a land called Tob? And the Bible said, worthless men gathered to him. Riffraffs gathered themselves and joined him. Worthless people joined him. Cracked people like him joined him. People who had one command in their life saw him and said, I think I need to associate myself with this guy. They were not associating with his crack, they were associating with his valiant nature. They needed his strength. Oh, if only you know that there are people that need what you have. They needed the strength that he carried, but the guy was running away. Listen, there are people that will come around your life and they draw out the king that is within you. These men gathered themselves around Jephthah, and Jephthah didn't have any reason but to shine forth because there were men who are depending on him. There are people depending on you. When you realize that lives are dependent on you, you will start behaving properly. Understand that there are people who will not come forth if you don't come forth. Understand there are people who will not become if you don't become. Get out of the hiding. Get out of the hiding. There's something you've got that other people need. There's something you've got that your world needs. Worthless men gathered around you. The worst thing you can do to yourself is for you to start looking for validation among people who see you as cracked. And that is what so many of us do. We want to be accepted in their midst. We want to belong. And these people are the same people rejecting you, but you are forcing yourself into them. They don't want you, sir. But how is it that they've rejected you and you have rejected yourself? Are you understanding this? The people that see themselves as all they are together, their life is 100%. They don't have any crack in their life. They are all put together. These are the same people you want to go and associate with, because you think that when you associate with them, automatically people will now forget about your cracks. Sorry. Get to the point in your life where you will tell yourself, reject me once, I leave. Reject me one time, I leave. Stop looking for validation. It was a wordless man that he didn't go to them, they went to him. There are people that I said, have you realized that poor people look down on the poor? Poor people don't want to associate with the poor because of the wrong. I know they mean well, but they say if you follow 5 billionaires, you will soon become the 6th billionaire. Have you heard things like that? And I have always asked myself, will the billionaires even allow you into the circle first? Have you gone to see a big man before? And you stayed outside for 3 hours, and they ended up still telling you that he won't see anybody today because you want to be seen as chilling with the big boss. Unfortunately for you, we also know that you are the odd man out. You are trying to force yourself into where you don't belong. We know you will get the money. Have you not seen the one they say 30 billion gang? They say?
Yes. And they were shaming one for still.
Among them, and all the people still go. They know who has the and who does not. Stop forcing yourself to be accepted by people that don't want to accept you. Stop letting people shame you. Stop. They are shaming you because you want to get their acceptance. Stop. Sir, love yourself enough. Love yourself enough. Have this love for yourself that you don't beg for attention. Oh God. I don't know why I'm stressing this. Stop begging for attention. If people will not accept you for who you are, move. Now listen. I will balance it. I'm coming. But I want you, leave this service today loving yourself. Leave this service today loving everything about you, including the cracks. Listen. Your crack is your mercy point. Your crack is your mercy point. What do I mean by that? When you have gone through the shame of dealing with having a child out of wedlock and you've come out of it, you've regained your strength. When you hear that somebody is going through that same thing, you will release empathy and mercy because you know what the person is going through. Your crack is your mercy point. The problem I have with some of us is that we are healed from our cracks. We forget the experience of being cracked. And when we now see people who have the same cracks we used to have, we bounce on them. That's the problem I have. But your crack is supposed to be your mercy point. Imagine Jephthah seeing another man that was born by a prostitute, and he looks down on the man because he has now become a king. How is it that we forget so soon where God brought us from? How is it that we forget so soon the things that God had to endure with us, the grace he had to release to you? Another person is there, and you have you seen mothers that would tell their children, when I was in school I used to be first, meanwhile you didn't smell at something But you are now pressuring your children to be who you are not. And when you used to come back with that kind of report card, you knew how bad you felt when they told you that you are Olodo. And then you have a child. Instead of you telling the child, you can do better. You are not like this. And you've got something in you. You're building up the child. You make the child's life miserable because the child reminds you of you. And to some of you in this place who specialize in making people feel less than themselves, you think you're strong because some other people are weak. I want you to understand something. Everybody has a crack. If only you will be true to yourself. Everyone has a crack. So stop shaming people because of the cracks that they have. Stop. Stop making people go into hiding because of the cracks that they have. If you don't have an encouraging word for someone, shut your mouth. If your word will not help someone come out of whatever he is into, shut your mouth. Bad people know they are bad. You don't need to remind them. You don't need to remind them. They know they need help. They are asking God for help. If you don't have any word that can encourage them out of whatever they are into, shut your mouth. One of the hardest things I think I don't know how to do, and I pray God to help me not to know how to do it, is to talk to people who have lost a loved one. Don't be too quick to tell somebody, I understand what you're going through. You don't. You don't. The prostitute that is sleeping around that you are talking about, if only you know. You think it is an easy thing allowing anything to climb you just because they have money. Some of them, they are in that thing and they are carrying and saying, God, how long will I stay? Help me. I don't want to continue living this life. They are there or they are there. The thing is going on, but they loathe themselves and they are asking God for help. But when they come to the church where they will receive words that should give them the strength and the willpower to say, I won't go back again, they are condemned. They are chased out of the church. You don't know. You don't know. There was a viral news that came this week. A young man was killed in Port Harcourt, thrown down from a 3-story building. What was his crime? That he's a homosexual. People, I don't know how he got into that, and then they threw him down. He didn't steal. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't, he didn't rape anybody. They threw him down from 3-story building. And then I'm watching the comment section, and I'm seeing people saying, hand don't touch one, the others go learn. You don't know the pain. You don't. You don't. You don't. And this guy had to gather those people, those men who were worthless, and they started living together. They started building themselves together. They started, learning how to heal from the pain they've been through. They were just building, banding up together, encouraging one another. And then the people that chased them away had a problem, and they went looking for them. The same person that was rejected. Do you see why you shouldn't reject yourself? Do you see why you shouldn't disqualify yourself? Because you are supposed to use the rejection of men as fuel to build yourself up. You're supposed to draw on. Most of us, we go and hide ourselves in shame. And rather you are doing a pity party. And then you're just there. No, you're supposed to use it as motivation. When people are expecting you to fail, sir, it should be enough motivation not to. Because in a matter of time, the same person, God will orchestrate events that where you were rejected, you will be needed. I have seen it happen over and over again. When you don't give up on yourself, when you don't give up on your life and on your destiny, it's only a matter of time. Are you understand what I'm saying? It's only a matter of time. But that means you shouldn't stay weak for a long time. You shouldn't stay cracked for a long time. Being cracked should not be your whole life experience. You were cracked, heal. Don't remain cracked. Tell your neighbor, don't remain cracked. You're not supposed to stay cracked. By verse 11 and verse 35, you see that something happened to Jephthah. There was something that happened to this guy. Oh God. Look at verse 11. Oh my God. Where did you enter, Joshua? Something happened to this guy that revolutionized his life. There was something that happened to Jephthah. That when you look at verse 11 and verse 35, he said, then Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him head and captain over them. That's not the part. He said, and Jephthah uttered all his words before the Lord in Mizpeh. 35. And it came to pass, when he saw her, that he rent his clothes and said, alas, my daughter, thou hast brought me very low. Thou art one of them that trouble me. For I have opened my mouth unto the Lord, and I cannot go back. The same Jephthah. This guy had he had met the Lord. He now has a relationship with God. That's the part I wanted you to see. This guy had now met God. He had a relationship with God. Do you know what it means? That a man made a promise to God, and then it was to the expense of sacrificing his only daughter, and he still kept his word. He had come to the level where he now feared God. Meaning that Jephthah was pursued and he ran into God. He now had an experience with God. And this same God he had an experience with turned the hands of time. Listen, when you are cracked, your only option is to run to God. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because men will only remind you of how worse your crack is. Run to God. He is the potter. He knows how to mend the clay. He knows how to heal every cracks. No matter what it is, no matter the crack, you know. Your heart is in tatters. You tell yourself, I cannot love again. Go to God. Let him heal that heart. You may be the one that sleeps with anything on skirt. Go to God. He can handle that appetite. Don't stay cracked. Maybe you are the one that you like things in green bottles. Amen. You don't drink outside, but there are cartons in your house. You say, no, Pastor, no, I don't drink. I just I know my capacity. I know my capacity. God can handle it. My father used to be a chain smoker. You know the school that immediately after they finish eating, they light another stick of cigarette. That was my dad. I don't know how old he was then. I think he was in his 40s. And then he had a respiratory attack. And the doctor told him, choose your life or the cigarette. That thing that looked like I can't leave it, he has left it for more than 30 years now. He is 75 this year. Like the greater part of my adult life, I had a father that didn't smoke. But he used to be, oh my God. There is no crack that God cannot heal. There is no appetite that he cannot. But you know what we do? We come to God and we come pretending. We come to God. We come the way, you know, when you come to me now and I'm asking you about your life, there are certain things, certain aspects that you're going to hide from me. Except I now get through word of knowledge. And I tell you, okay, what about this? What about this? What about this? But normally you will hide some things from me because you're not sure how I can handle the information. You're not even sure that the information you're going to give to me is going to be safe and I won't tell somebody. God is that one person that you can tell everything. Nobody will hear it. But when we go to him, we know we need help. You know you are cracked. You know that if this thing continues, your life will be messed up. But you still come to the only one that can help you, and you're pretending. Listen, God says, I want, when they are talking about your crack, it will be old news. Imagine you telling somebody, don't worry, if Joshua passes here now, something will miss. Watch. Because before, you know that he's an enemy. He doesn't need to. There's one guy that does a skit, or something. You know, the angle of skit he does is that he can steal everything you have without moving. Like he's talking with you, but things are leaving your body. I think there was one that he did with macaroni. You know macaroni. And then the lady he uses for the wife in all his skits. In this particular one, he was discussing with them. Before you know it, he was now wearing the clothes that the wife was wearing without moving. That was so people, they know you like that. And somebody has now said, if he passes now, just watch. And then you pass nothing. God says, I want to work on you so that by the time they bring up the story of your crack, they wouldn't know that you have been healed. By the time they were coming back to Jephthah, they didn't know that Jephthah had met the Lord. They didn't know that his story had changed. They thought it was still the old Jephthah. But God had made it. By the time they were coming to him, Jephthah had his own personal army. They chased him away from his father's house. But he had other brothers and sisters willing to die for him. They met him at another level. Will I meet you next year still bearing your cracks? Will I meet you 2 years from now still bearing your cracks? God says, I want to heal you completely. I want to redefine your life. If only you will come to me open-hearted. Give me the cracks, let me work on them. Jeremiah chapter 18 says, he said, God said to me, go down to the house of the potter. He said, I will talk to you there. He said, I went to the house of the potter. I looked at the potter walking on his wheel. And then he said, I saw the clay spoil in the hands of the potter. He said, and he made it into another vessel. Even if men say you have spoiled, God says, I have all it takes to remake you. If only you will come without hiding anything. Without hiding anything. Guess what? He knows your cracks better than you even know it. Some of us come from families. You are sleeping around not just because you want to, but there are also things that are working behind the scenes you don't even know. And still yet you don't want to come to God to help you. God says, I want to work on your cracks. Oh, I want to work on your cracks. No matter the addictions, he said, I want to work on them. I want to work on them. Don't define your life by your cracks. Don't say, this is now who I am. I can't change. I can't stop doing this. Stop saying I can't. There's someone that can, and he's able to put you back together. Are you hearing me this morning? God said, yes, I know you are cracked, but you are needed. And the reason why he wants to work on your cracks is so that other people who are cracked like you will know that there is hope for them. We have seen addicts they've sold everything they have just to buy drugs, and then years later they are testifying they've not gone back because God helped them. There is no crack that God cannot mend. Listen, I'm not saying let people encourage you to come to the Lord. They will not encourage you. They will only talk about the cracks. Yourself by yourself. Come to God. There's a reason why you are in church today that we are preaching about this. There's a reason why. There's a reason. You know, I will always tell us here that the messages that the Lord brings is not for the people that are not here. Yes, they can listen to the message later on our YouTube channel and then, they are blessed. But the message primarily was brought to the ones who came to church that day. And I know that there are a lot of us here who God is telling, hand over your cracks to me. No matter what it is. That thing that men have shamed you for. And you're handing it over to him is in sincerity. Not those, God, I give you my life, I give you my life. Have I not given you my life? No. You mean it. For the people who came for prayers on Friday, there was a prayer we prayed. And we said, Lord, what are our chances in this country? And we're saying, God, help us. And it was a prayer, everybody, it was amazing on Friday. Everybody was, because we know, looking at the statistics, looking at God, if you don't help us, we are finished. Then you have to come to that point. Everybody is rejecting you and you still want to stay. Come to God and say, God, if you don't help me deal with this thing, you have to. And do you know why? You have to do it quickly, because the voice of the people will soon come when they will be requiring your help. So you need to heal quickly. You need to heal very quickly, because there are people who are coming out of schools and they are coming out cracked, and they are going to meet you. You served 10 years ago, you served 5 years ago. There are people who are going to come to this city. God will post them to Asaba because He has positioned you here in this city to meet them, and then their lives will change. You need to go to God. You need to go to God. Oh, you have a marital issue, and then your life is, there's somebody who doesn't even know that she will be divorced. She's about getting married, and God is saying, heal up, let me work on you, because somebody will need you to provide strength. Because if you don't do that, you will crack others. Because cracked people who don't work on their cracks crack others. There are so many people who are overtly critical of people, judgmental of others. Check them. They are judging things they've not worked on in their own lives. We give it a fine name. But then, because I know, if truly you are sincere about your cracks, you won't judge another one who is cracked too. But when you see people who are so flawed, still put their noses up and look down on others, these are men who didn't hand over their cracks to Jesus. Because God will not just heal you, He will put mercy in you. He said, be filled with bowels of mercy. I'm out of time, not out of words. I want you to close your eyes and ask God, I hand over my scars. I hand over my cracks. I hand it over, Lord. I don't want to remain like this. Ha! Your children should not meet you cracked. Oh. I don't want to remain like this. Ah, Lord, if you don't help me. For some of you, maybe you have a very, very terrible anger. Say, God, you need to help me. You need to help me. You need to help me. Help me. Help me. Heal me. Heal me. You know me better than I know myself. I surrender this part to you. Lord, you are the one that specializes in healing cracks. Kai. He's the one that specializes in healing cracks. The potter wants to put you back together again. Oh, the potter wants to put you back together again. In case you have fallen by the wayside of life, dreams and visions shattered, you are broken inside. You don't have to stay in the shape that you're in, for the potter wants to put you back together again. Oh, the potter wants to put you back together.